I told you to stop being so kind to me. Why? It it will all be over soon. Please don't make any noise. Why? To put an end to this family, you are my only. Wait. To put an end to this family. What the fuck? And we're back. I'm Ash Mannix. And I'm playing the house in Fata Morgana. Um so yes, I think in the last episode, the last part of this playthrough, I should really not call it episodes, I should just say parts. The plot's thickening around this girl with the white hair. Um, so the impression we were given, or what we were told, is that she's from a rich family. But um, as the priest has pointed out to Mell, it seems like that she's actually her and her father were beggars, and they've come to the church before seeking food, maybe shelter. So this is kind of like made things interesting because she was introduced as someone from a highly esteemed family. Now, if you remember back to like the part 2 of the playthrough where we first meet the girl with the white hair, she was wearing some rags and was like not in the best of states. She was a bit scruffy. You could tell that she was. I should really not be cleaning my desk at this point. Sweeping the dust off. Yeah. Yeah, she was wearing like rags and was dirty and stuff like that, and just like yeah, you could tell she was a beggar or something, someone that was going through hard times. So this kind of all fits, and I'm wondering if the maid was the one that told the story of made up the story of where she's from to the parents, and that's how she to got her a job as a maid in the house. And this would also explain, well, this could be a reason for why she's so reluctant to reciprocate the feelings of Mell. So yeah, things are getting interesting. Switch out to the full screen and let's get into this. This may seem sudden, but I must confess that I made a grave mistake. That my transgression is that I was unable to completely predict where this path we were travelling led. My hands were full dealing with my immediate day-to-day tasks. I could not do not but pray there was happiness waiting in the future. Happiness for everyone who lived within Rose Manor. I am but a mere maid. There are limits to what I am allowed to do, and furthermore, it was not my place to offer her my hand. Roads, such as the one we were following, have a way of diverging with little warning, and if you do not turn the wheel exactly right at those sudden forks, you may end up somewhere horribly off course. I was well aware of that fact, which is why I thought that what I did was for the best. Oh, oh, it's happening again. I made sure the door was closed, but I can sense someone standing there. Someone watching me. Footsteps. Looking down at me. I want to open my eyes, but I can't do it. Curses. You're just going to leave without doing anything, aren't you? Then hurry up and get out of here. Free me from this torture. Ah. No, tonight they're on my bed now, looking down on me. My neck. What? I can't speak, I can't move. Ah. What was that? These cold fingers. Soft breath. What? Why? I can move my body, but that's not important right now. Hello? You smell of roses. The scent of a world far removed from ours. Ours? Okay. He made to gasp at the sight before him, only to realize he could not. The pressure of her cold fingertips wrapped around his throat robbed him almost entirely of the ability to breathe. Why? He silently mouthed the word. For that moment, at least, her melancholic ruby eyes were focused wholly on the flaxen-haired young man. In them glowed a faint flicker of willpower and a continuously burning agitation that roused her to action. Wait, is she a vampire and she's about to bite him? I told you to stop being so kind to me. Why? It it will all be over soon. Please don't make any noise. Why? To put an end to this family, you are my only. Wait. To put an end to this family? What the fuck? Why? Why are you shaking? What? Upon hearing Mell's words, the strength drained from her slender fingers. He had not been questioning why she would do such a thing. There was, of course, a trace of bewilderment visible in his eyes, but he did not shout, nor did he tremble in fear. He instead expressed concern for the young woman, who looked like a cornered rabbit. I am not shaking. You are, I can see it. As he slowly regained his breath, Mell's voice too grew clearer. Conversely, the red-eyed girl's grew progressively more faint and raspy. You're not doing this because you genuinely want to. There's some other reason. This is my desire. Have you been to my room before? You have. Sorry. Well, I'll be damned. I had to check in my room. Tell me, why are you shaking? You're not putting any pressure on my neck. Why haven't you run? Because I cannot fathom why you would do this. I'm not afraid. That logic is a bit flawed. I do not know why you're doing this, so I'm not afraid. Do you hate me so deeply you want me dead? You despise me to the point you would be willing to take my life with your own hands? No, I don't. See, like I said, there's another reason. If it isn't because you detest me, then tell me, why is it? I'm sorry, I will leave your room now. I'll do my best not to bother you any further, so please forget anything ever happened. Forget that I was randomly in your room and I had my hand on your throat and God knows what was going to happen. Do you think I'm just going to say okay and let you go? Why can't you tell me the reason? I'm sorry. Alright, then I'll try and guess. What? It has something to do with your lineage. You've troubled by somehow, am I right? I thought so. How do you know about that? The priest at the church told me he had seen you before. He also told me a little about your origin. That's all I know. The only difference between us is social rank. I don't know what would cause you to do this. Please, tell me who you really are. Tell me why you came to the mansion, and why father allowed you to be a maid. I haven't said anything to mother or father. If you're hiding the truth from them, they still don't know. But I want to. I won't get mad at you or have you punished. I'll even swear to God if you'd like. I want to be the prince who whisks you away. I want to be like the prince who rescued the girl from the dark mansion and showed her the world. I know I'm not that dependable, but I want to help you. Why do you show me such compassion? Why do you treat me like this? Have my hand around your neck. Why? I thought it'd be obvious. Or have I not expressed myself well enough? I love you. Every time you push it away, it crushes me. I didn't even know my heart could feel such distress. If you dislike me and don't want to be with me, then, well, I'll just have to live with that. As much as it may hurt. But if you have some other reason, some weight on your shoulders that you can't share with anyone else, tell me. I want to help you. There are other options. Things we can do about your... No, that's not it. Huh? I've tried to hate you so many times. But yes, there's more to it than just social status. But I can't do it. I couldn't make myself do it. What do you mean? I had so many chances. I couldn't do anything. She spoke in a stifled voice, as if every word had to fight to escape her lips. She appeared so fragile, so precarious looking down on him that it seemed as though If a gust of wind were to whisk through the room, it would blow her away completely. Her pale fingers were trembling, like she had tried to squeeze them again and failed. However, her hand did not pull away from his still slender neck. Her hand, so cold. He did not challenge her, but simply kept his eyes fixed on hers, as if carefully watching to see what she would do next. I'll say it as many times as I must. I love you. And I wouldn't be able to accept losing you without knowing anything. So please, tell me the reason. I'll see to it that you're taken care of. Those are the words of a man of means, Lord Mell. Of someone blessed enough to have pity for others. You are a foolish young man. You know nothing. But the greatest fool of all, myself. If you agree to punish me, I will talk. Tell me. Her long white hair and his soft flaxen hair touched, for just the briefest of moments, appeared in the darkness as though they had fused together. The white-haired girl, having finally gathered the courage, began to slowly tell her tale. On the night of the storm, I paid a visit to Rose Manor, this mansion. My father and I were always on the move, travelling across the land by foot. It was only recently that we heard rumours of Rose Manor. There are several reasons we couldn't stay in one place. First, my unusual appearance. People often find the colour of my skin or eyes disconcerting. So after living in one place for long enough, unsettling rumours would begin to spread, forcing us to leave. Another reason was my father's line of work. He painted pictures for a living, but he had trouble finding a patron, so he had to work day to day. While he was no longer able to find work in a city, we would move. We were birds that migrated without a flock. When we arrived at this town, my father was exhausted and weak. That is when we learned of Rose Manor, and the family who dwelled within it. Rhodes is a name my father could never forget. He was, long ago, a painter in service of the Rhodes family. Hold on, your father was an artist here? Yes. That was before I was born, so you probably don't remember, Lord Mell. So, you knew about us before you came here? For as long as I can remember, I've known the name Rhodes. My father was chased from your house, just because he didn't like something he painted. Having failed the Rhodes family, no one else would become his patron. Just as a good reputation spreads, so too does a bad one. Branded once as a failure, no one will take you in ever again. You nobles throw your parties and spread your gossip about this painter or that sculptor. The rose you tried to give me is an example of that. It was certainly crafted with skill, but the jeweller is only known because some aristocrat spoke highly of him. My father's paintings were no less skillful. His was a talent that could not be easily imitated. No one was willing to separate the art from the artist. The Rose family stole everything from my father, but even thrown out onto the streets, his only skill was painting. That was all he could do to earn a living. What little money he had for food he gave to me. He did anything he could to ensure my survival, even at the expense of his own well-being. My father passed away in this town. Up until his last breath, he was only ever concerned about me. He held me in his arms and ran his fingers through my hair, an apologetic look on his face. If I had a normal appearance, I'm sure life would have been much easier. He was always telling me how sorry he was for making life so hard, even though it's not his fault I look like this. I disdained the Rhodes family for putting my father through such hardship. I imagine you are still living in decadence, acting as though nothing had ever happened. No, you wouldn't even care about the fate of one simple painter. Our lives meant nothing to you. And so I sought to bring misfortune upon you. That's why you tried to kill me. In truth, I had wanted to take the master's life, but your father spent so much time outside the mansion. And so, you're right, if they lost me, it would put my family in a very difficult position. That is the whole of my tale. You now know about my father and how I feel about you. Having told you of the blackness in my heart, I cannot go on living like nothing has changed. Please give me punishment. Why? Why would you have me put the one I love through any more misery? I am not fit for your affection. Only because I am not aristocratic, because every time I spoke with you, I did so holding this darkness in my heart. Did that not unnerve you? In the end, it was my family's actions that caused you so much suffering. Would that your father was still alive, perhaps he could have done something. I'm sorry. And besides, you hesitated. You didn't actually kill me. What am I even to punish you for? As you said, you had countless opportunities, but you could not bring yourself to do it. Wait a minute. The maid was helping her do all of this. What the hell, man? What is this maid up? What is this maid all about, man? What's she up to? Tell me, why couldn't you kill me? Because if it's because I've given you enough reason to have even the slightest bit of I don't know. What is going on with mine? I can't talk now. To have even the slightest bit of interest in me. Nothing was as I envisioned it. What? I assumed the residents of Rose Manor would be cold, people who believed that wealth and rank matter above all. But on the night of the storm, the mistress was the first one to extend her hand to me. I arrived at the mansion disguised as a beggar. Actually, disguise is not the right word, as many nights I only survived in the generosity of others. The mistress did not send me away when she saw me. Quite the opposite, she took me in as a servant. So that was Mother's doing. I could scarcely believe she would invite a stranger into her home, that she would treat a stranger with such compassion. I thought perhaps she knew who my father was, but I had never met any of you before, so she must simply be that kind-hearted a woman. And the mistress continued to treat me with kindness, despite my disquieting appearance and the darkness in my heart. In time I began to grow less and less sure of myself. Was that what I meant to do truly right? Were the things I felt truly justified? But it was a certain fact that my father was here, that he had been chased out. So I decided I should take your life, to put an end to everything before I wavered any further. And then... You are too kind to me. It's all your fault. Because you laugh with such affection, because you give me smiles like that, because you say the things you say. Sorry. No, don't apologize. I'm so happy to hear that. Despite the unusual circumstances. Please, don't say you want to leave. Don't ask me to punish you. I couldn't do anything for your father, but at least allow me to do something for the daughter he cared for so dearly. You are far too kind-hearted. I'll be happier with you around. And become a real aristocrat. Huh? There are families that would be willing to adopt you, especially knowing it would bring them ties to the Rhodes family in the near future. Saying, as long as you're okay with that, of course. I don't understand how you could possibly say that. I have my hand around your neck even as we speak. It seems reasonably enough to me. I'm desperately looking for some way to not have to lose you. I don't know any etiquette or social customs. How could I? You can learn all of that. You're pretty and naturally graceful. You'll do just fine. Yeah, see this bit here, you're pretty. I wonder how much of that is influencing his decision. Shouldn't be so cynical. You're such an aristocrat, Lord Mell. What? The way you can come up with compliments so easily. Only for you. Nellie says my poetry has as much charm as a dissertation. I don't understand theatre. It puts me to sleep. You laughed. Thank goodness. Keep smiling. You don't have to stop. A smile on your face is a smile on mine. No matter how deep the darkness has taken root in your heart, it can always be removed. I believe people are capable of forging their own futures. What What do you say we go to the theatre sometime? I promise I won't sleep through it. At the private theatre, we can get seats at the far end of the second floor, so we don't have to stand. They'd be pretty lavish seats, and it would give you a chance to experience the noble life. But, please, don't be shy. I can have clothes prepared for you. I'll ask one of the maids who can keep a secret. Hey, the one with black hair. She kind of scares me though. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. How could you show such compassion for me? I tried to inflict harm upon you. Am I allowed to feel such joy? For every day you suffered, a day of happiness. That's how it has to be. So stand by my side. He softly whispered the girl's name. For several long moments, her lips trembled in trepidation, but in time she squeezed them together and made a smile. He wrapped his arms around her unbelievably slender, frail frame, holding her tight in an affectionate embrace. Ooh. Mell approached me the next day. He explained to me the course of events and then asked me to dress her up more beautifully than any other noble girl had ever been. She was already a very pretty girl, so even without much effort on my part, simply putting her in a dress, she radiated beauty. I was quite partial to her smile, so I agreed to help, think that if it would lead to their happiness, I could not ask for anything more. I never anticipated what would happen next, though. Perhaps my hopes were unreasonable after all. Ooh, that's ominous. So, this girl has admitted... Right, so her father was a painter. Let's see. Her father was a painter for that house. Well, she said the Rhodes family. Is it Rhodes? Is the house called? No, their family's called Rhodes. And she said that he was chased out the house for some reason. But, so she assumed that the family were pretty shitty. And yet, like, the mother showed compassion. So the mother knew that she was like a beggar of some sort and yet still gave her a job as a maid and pretended that she was from a noble family. And the mother was really nice to her. Mel's been really nice to her because she's really pretty, and he's genuinely a nice person, I believe. And Nellie has just been Nellie. I don't think Nellie's particularly cruel, or I don't think she's a bad person or anything. She's just a bit childish when it comes to Mell. I mean, she wants to hold on to her childhood a bit. I mean, she's been asked to get married. What the hell? She's 14. Oof. Oof. But that doesn't explain. Is it the father? Is the father just a horrible person? It's before Mell's. I don't know how long they've been living in that house for as well. Is it possible that it was a different family from that house? Don't know. Maybe we'll find. Well, I'm sure we'll find it at some point. Let's see where this goes. This doesn't sound good though. Now, Nellie. You love the theatre, so don't look so cross. Nellie was out with a man other than her brother that evening, a rare sight indeed, and she was quite clearly in a foul mood. I'll not stand for this. I should have to marry a man as disagreeable as Arthur. Oh yeah, it's the guy that she was like taking a rip out of. It's unthinkable. The young man at her side was Nellie's fiancé, selected by her parents. On any other occasion, she would have snubbed an invitation from any man who was not Mell, but she had little say in this matter. She was, for lack of a better word, forced to go out with him. And oh, how furiously she had fought against it. She had shoved aside the Abigail trying to fasten her corset, locked herself in her room and sobbed for quite some time. It required the combined efforts of several of us to get her ready and out the door for her date. Come now. You should at least pretend you're enjoying yourself. Or do you want people to think we don't get along? Do we get along? Well, I want to, for what it's worth. What it's worth to you is my name, not me. Are you really going to be like that? I went out of my way to take you to your favourite play. The least you could do is be a little kinder to me. What was it called again? Romeo and Juliet? been running for 6 or 7 years now. A family like yours or mine could pay to have a brand new script written. So why should we have to see an old play at a theatre full of commoners? Oh, this guy. Why can't they make him at least reasonable? Why do they have to make him like an arse? It may be private, but even so, ha! I would rather just have a show put on at my estate. Stop talking already. Why should I have to marry someone like you? I have absolutely no desire to marry you. Whatever it takes, I will put a stop to this. I'll talk to father as many times as I must. Please, don't make such a scene, it's shameful. There are people around, remember, you represent your family. Besides, our families are hardly strangers to one another. Try as you might, I doubt you can get rid of me. No matter what you say, you can't break this engagement. You don't. Your parents gave you too much freedom, and look at what a spoiled little girl you became because of it. Goodness, you're going to be quite the handful. God, this guy's... oh, get off your high horse. No, you're the one on the high horse, Nellie. You're going to be my wife. You could at least put on some effort into liking me. Ugh. What happens when I take you to a social engagement and you act like this? It's shameful to the both of us. This coming from someone who used to call me Lady Nellie? What's your problem? When you chose to act like a lady, I'd gladly call you that again. Goodness gracious. Put yourself in my shoes for a second. I have to marry a bratty little girl because it will help my family. How dare you talk about me that way? You're not a damned princess. Open your eyes. You think talking to your father will get you out of this marriage? You're welcome to try. I doubt he'll have it though. Otherwise, you can just go complain about it to your friends. Oh, that's right. As far as I'm aware, you don't have any friends. Enough! As you wish. So frustrating. Why should I have to listen to this jerk mock me? I have Mell. I know if father won't listen to me, I'll ask Mell to talk to him. Mell will be able to convince him. Come on now, your favourite play is about to start. Maybe you should face forward. But it will last. You won't be talking down to me much longer. Oh, this is not good. What? Is that? Wait, Nellie. Get back here. What's that damn child's problem? I didn't give her permission to leave. Father will be sure to hear about this. I'm going to tell my daddy. I cannot have the roads making any more of a fool of me. The roads. Fuck, this is going to get awkward. Fuck, this is going to get awkward. I can feel it. I can feel it. You're fine. Don't be shy. But so many people are looking at me. Ahaha, that's because you're gorgeous. Cringe. Well, he's not wrong. No, it's because I look strange. I assure you that's not the case. It is true you have an unusual appearance. Right now, the unique colour of your hair, your skin, your eyes all serve to accentuate your beauty. You sound like a prince, Lord Mell. What? You think so? I mean, I did say I'd be a stand-in prince for you, but I think you're a wonderful prince, not just a stand-in. Which makes you my princess, then? I don't... Oh, you're supposed to say yes, I am there. You're going to make me sad. I guess I'll just have to keep working at it until you submit. Oh hey, the play's about to start. What am I supposed to be doing? Nothing in particular. Just sit back and enjoy the show. Oh, but there is one thing. Yes? If I start dozing off, could you maybe wake me up? Ah. Net. What? Shit. Dear Mell. Nellie? Dearest Mell, why are you... What are you doing here? I asked her to join me. It's nothing to get worked up over. It is. It absolutely is. How many times did I ask you to come with me and you wouldn't? You don't even like theatre, dear Mell, and you brought her? You're right. I'm not especially fond of plays, but I wanted her to be able to see one. Why are you making such a deal out of this, Nellie? She's not suitable for you. What? She isn't good enough for you. Why would you choose her? She's creepy and you have no idea where she came from. Don't talk about her like that, Nellie. But you don't even know who her family is. I do. What? Lord Mell. It's fine. You just stay quiet. Oh. Like the other maids, she comes from a respectable house. I looked into it. However, circumstances prevent me from telling you what house that is. No, you're lying. That can't be. She doesn't act like a lady. She lacks etiquette and she probably can't even dance. You expect me to believe someone like her is from a good house? Enough already, Nellie. Mell yelled at me? You have my word. You don't have to worry about her. So please, stay out of this, Nellie. It isn't any of your business if I spend time with her, is it? But dear Mell. This is making me feel bad. You need to stop hanging all over me, Nellie, and find someone for... Wait. What are you doing at the theatre? Are you here alone? Ah! Oh yes, dear Mell, about that. I have a favour to ask of you. I've been waiting to talk to you about this since yesterday, but I haven't seen you at all. Settle down, Nellie. What is it? Father had me engaged without consulting me, and he picked Arthur, that disagreeable little... Oh right, that. I already know. What? Yeah, Nellie's reaction like, what? I heard it from Father. That reminds me, you didn't show up at breakfast this morning. See now, it's because of your engagement. Dear Mell. Is that who you're here with today? In that case, you should get back to him, rather than waste any more time with us. You knew I didn't want to get married, Mell, so why? Why didn't you talk Father out of it? Because it's your time, Nellie. You are the grand old age of 14. God, man. Ugh. If there's someone else you'd rather be with, then well, you can try persuading Father, but... What, man? This brother sucks. Mell, I'm a little bit disappointed in you. I mean, I get that you're like, your sister's too clingy, and you're like, you need to not get over it and not be so obsessed with me, but I feel like this is just cold. You're just like, you know she doesn't like this guy. And this guy doesn't even, this guy doesn't even seem really nice. What the fuck, man? Disappointing, Mell. Just like, I've got my pretty girl, I'm going to marry who I like even though she's not from a family, I'm going to lie for her, blah blah blah, but you have to marry who Dad says. God. Anyway, you're the only prince for me, dearest Mell. And a prince always grants his princess's wishes. Doesn't he? I just want you to say you'll do that for me, dearest Mell. Lady Nellie, you stay out of this. It's all your fault. Not because you showed up and played out your little tricks on him. I warned you about this rat, dearest Mell. She's not suitable for... Ooh. I told you I'd had enough already. Oh, wow. Oh. No. How much longer are you going to continue acting like a child? I can deal with you being a spoiled little girl, but how dare you be so derisive to someone else? Mell hit me. Lord Mell. That was too harsh, man. That was over. Oh, that was bad. Go on, the show's about to start. People are giving us dirty looks. And dirty looks probably because you just smacked your sister and... Oh, man. Return to your betrothed now. I will apologise to him afterwards as well. You said you would always be by my side. That you would always be my prince. The time for make-believe is past, Nellie. No, no, I refuse to believe it. I will not have it. Nellie. Goodness, that girl. Are you not going to go after her, Lord Mell? No, just let her go. The only place she even has to go is home. I just wish she'd start acting a little more like an adult. I imagine Lady Nellie simply... She what? Yeah. No, it just wasn't my intention to get between you. Don't blame yourself, it's not your fault we had an argument. But you two are so close. Well, yeah, we're siblings, so we're close, but nothing more. Like, I get what he's... I get why he's kind of angry, but... And there is that kind of, like, element of the, you know, a bit of tough love and stuff, but... He's in a predicament. I don't know, like, maybe because he's... But... Like, she's being forced to marry this guy who she doesn't love, doesn't even like at all, man. And granted, she's obsessed with Mell, and he should, like, I get that he's, I mean, being harsh with her about that kind of unhealthy kind of obsession with him is fine, but, like, that doesn't, just because she's got that issue, or he has that issue with her, right, doesn't justify him totally ignoring her when she's being forced to, like, she's being forced to marry some dude, and I don't think he finds him that, well, he doesn't even care, he doesn't even pay attention, he's so, like, this is a level of selfishness, I feel, in his character, at least in regards to his sister. He's like, I will do what I need to, I will do what I have to marry the one that I love, but for my sister, look, you just have to marry this guy, okay, because Dad said. Very disappointed. I do care about Nellie and I enjoy spending time with her, but she's my sister, nothing more. Dude, what do you mean nothing more? I mean that... Yeah, granted, you're saying in terms of romantic sense, you don't find her, like, thank fuck, you don't think of her that way, but you should care for her as your sister. Anyway, sorry for making such a scene. No, I imagine she left her betrothed behind without saying anything. I'm going to apologise to him. You have to keep up appearances. Yes, you do, I guess, because you're... Meh. Stay here, I'll be right back. Very well. Let's see. Master. What are your thoughts on the tale so far? Which of the siblings do you think was in the right, Master? The brother or the sister? It's interesting you asked me. I think both of them were partly right, partly wrong. The sister should not be so obsessed with her brother, but to go to her brother because she needs his support was the right thing to do. She does not like this guy. He does not seem like a nice person. He doesn't even seem like a person that kind of fits with her. I get it, it's old times, but her brother should have supported her, or at least tried to help her. Instead, like, the father had already said this was going to happen. He was just like, whatever, I don't care. But this, at the same time, the sister shouldn't be, like, so nasty to the white-haired girl. We still haven't got her name. Has he not even asked her name yet? God damn it, Mel. And yeah, just like, they're both a mixture of right and wrong here. Oh my, I apologise for the abrupt question. Did I startle you? What do I think? Yes, I believe Mel was probably right. He was also surely happier than her. As Mel had anticipated, Nellie fled from the theatre, leaving her fiancé behind. Forced away into a carriage stopped outside, probably one called for a different nobleman, in order to take her home. Mel's assumption was correct. The only place she had to return to was the mansion. The sun was beginning to set, and as a young lady, she could not simply go wandering through town alone. Nor did she have any acquaintances to take her in. Her world was, in essence, composed of two elements, her brother and the rose garden. Oh, that is also unfortunate. They were the light of her life at Rose Manor. She lived a very isolated existence. Ah, so she was quite isolated. Why has she done that? Is that her own personality? Is there a reason behind that? Her family? I mean, Mel doesn't seem to have that many friends, or we haven't heard of any friends outside of, or any friends really. Ha! Ha! Mm-hmm. When she escaped back home, Nellie went straight to her room, locked the door, and began sobbing. The waves of her sorrow came crashing effortlessly over the levees. Tears streamed through the cracked walls of the dams blocking her tear ducts. Ah, why? Why? Why won't you help me, Mel? Why won't you take my side? The decor in her room appeared blurry through her damp eyes. Memories of the day she had redecorated played back in her mind with crystal clarity. She told me she had no feelings for you. That liar! That liar! She let her emotions run wild, breaking glass craftworks, silver plates designed by famous foreign artisans, flower vases, all sorts of things. It was as though a beast had been set loose in her bedchamber. The vase she tossed shattered against a painting hanging on the wall, spraying water, porcelain, and roses in every direction. It was a portrait she adored so dearly, of her and her brother. Ah! And in what appeared to her like a metaphor for her life, the frame fell off its mounting and came crashing to the floor. Nellie darted over and scooped it up. The frame had broken, but the painting inside was unharmed. Two smiling children were still the very image of happiness, inseparable siblings gently holding one another's hand. My prince is no more. Though in her present state of mind, that image of happiness brought her nothing but misery. And the worse she felt, the more frustrated she grew at the smiling girl and kind boy of her past. The princess is no more either. You're not a princess anymore, Nellie. Some other woman has taken your place. I trusted you, Mel. I believed you would always be there for me. Painting is nothing but a lie. That's not the real Mel. That's not the real me. Not a big fat lie. A lie? Ugh. Ugh. Oh no. I wish this painting never existed. It was never made. I never had a brother. This painting. Ha! Ha! In a fit of emotional distress, scratched feverishly at the painting she once considered precious. She put more force into her fingers than she, or perhaps anyone, might have imagined she could. Flakes of paint began falling off the canvas, and in time she noticed something peculiar. Huh? What? Is this writing? Something's hidden beneath the painting. Just a little more. A date? Why would that be hidden? What could it be for? Completed. Completed May 1587. 1587? She read aloud the faded, scratched up handwriting. After staring blankly at the text for some time, the colour in her face began to drain. What is this? How? How could this have been painted 16 years ago? I wasn't even born yet then. And Mel would have been just a baby. Is this not me? Is this not Mel? Still more writing. Urged on by her rapidly pounding heart, Nellie furiously scratched away at the painting. Even as her clean pink fingernails were soiled with fragments of paint and blood, it did not stop. She was so overwhelmed by trepidation that she could not stop. She had a horrible premonition that something was about to happen. Something indescribable, incomprehensible. This is how I envisioned your son and our unborn daughter might look several years from now. What? Your son and our unborn daughter? So this was a painting of the future. Then it really is of me and Mel. No, use your head, stupid. I'm only 14. 16 years ago I would not have even been inside Mother. Then who is this? Who is that holding Mell's hand? Who is that with my brother? More, there has to be. Ow. Found it. There's more writing. I have to know. What is this? Calm down, Nellie. There's nothing to get worked up over. I'm sure it's nothing. Calm down and read. There's nothing to worry about. If our unborn child... This is what the writing on the painting said. If our unborn child does not have your hair colour, then you'll probably not be able to take her in as your own. I will be punished and my life made miserable. And so I pray that this child might have flaxen hair. Though is it a sin to wish she has in her a trace of me? I do hope it is a girl. What am I reading? I don't get it. Someone tell me, what does this mean? Now wait a minute. Let me have a think of this. So I suspected that this painting was done by the girl with the white hair's father, because she did smile at it when she saw it. She is much closer in age to Mell, so I'm assuming that that's her and that she was the unborn daughter. And she's never talked about her mother as well. Was all I did find interesting. Now the mother being so nice to her when she met her and giving her a place in the house as a maid. Did the mother have an affair with this man? And the child that was born from that was the girl with the white hair? So Mell and this girl are half brother, half sister? Ooh. A painting from 16 years ago. Hair color, sin. I do hope it is a girl. Do I continue? Yes? It's Nellie, let me in. Lady Nellie. Oh, you changed out of your dress. That's a shame, it looked nice on you. It really did look so nice. Almost like you were a princess. Lady Nellie. Say, I've got a question for you. Do you mind? By all means. What colour hair did your father have? I beg your pardon. Did you not hear me? Did I repeat the question? No. I assumed it would be about Lord Mell. I'm just so curious about where you got that white colour from. My father was more tan than white. But I didn't inherit my paleness from anyone. I asked about your father's hair colour. Why do you want to... There's no reason you can't tell me, is there? My father, had white hair. That was simply because he was an older man. I do not think he was born with... Ha! Lady Nellie? Hey, guess what? I figured it out. I figured it all out. And it was so simple. There's only one difference between you and me. The thing that Mell fell for is... Why do you have those? No, stay back. And I think I'm going to be a horrible person. And I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to end the episode there. Oh shit, I kind of want to... Let me just save actually. Go back to the... You can see my face. Save this game. Save here. Yes. Back. Oh, this is interesting. Whoa, I didn't see this happening. So, they're related potentially, and Nellie thinks that he only fell in love with the girl with the white hair. Mell only fell in love with her because of her hair, I'm assuming. I'm assuming she took out scissors and was about to, like, cut her hair. Psycho, man. Psycho sister. Damn. Oof. Things are hotting up. This is getting exciting. I'm enjoying this. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. You guys watching this. Definitely going to continue this soon. I'm aiming to try and I aim to put these episodes out on Sundays, every Sunday. So look forward to Sunday, I guess. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time. I'm Ash Mannix. This is the House in Fata Morgana, and I'll hopefully see you next time. Bye.